Hey, smart people, come on to my YouTube channel, Stenell the Money Therapist. Every episode that you hear, my podcast, right here, you will see me in the flesh talking about the same exact topic. See you there. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell.
6 years ago, my wife took nothing but an ideal and faith and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business with multiple streams of income. As a woman possessed, she overcame all obstacles and created multiple streams of wealth that has impacted our family for generations to come. From mental health professional to therapist to author to CEO, she is a constant reminder of the grace of God over her life. Get ready to listen to and take notes from Stenell, the money therapist, as she schools you on money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. No more excuses. Wake up!
Thank you, husband, for that great introduction. Welcome back to No More Excuses, Wake Up, where we talk about money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. I am your host, Stenell Myers, also known as Stenell, the Money Therapist. Our topic today is money. I created a spreadsheet back in 2017, 2018. I was on my journey and I had to figure out a way that would help me, something that was realistic for me and for people around me that I could help. So when I'm coaching people, I can go back to utilize something that I created, that I understand, and that I know works. So I came up with this spreadsheet. And it's my Money Therapy Institute. It's a budget spreadsheet and it is free. I will definitely put it in the notes for you to download it. It is definitely free. And in the spreadsheet, it basically categorizes everything that you need. It not only is it a budgeting spreadsheet, it helps you get out of debt. The final number is the number that you use to get out of debt. So this spreadsheet actually tracks your money that's coming in. It tracks your money that's going out. So I'm going to walk you through this. And as you know, I also, everything that I do on this platform, I also do in YouTube. So in YouTube, you will be able to physically see the spreadsheet. You will see me and you will see me walking you through this. I have done this before, but and this was a while ago, but I feel like because I'm super busy and I have so much going on, I feel like the basics that people are missing, it always comes down to budgeting. It always comes down to a spreadsheet, or do you have something that you are tracking your finances? And the answer to that question is no, people do not. That is the reason why people don't see the money that they have, because a lot of people do have the money because they're not following it, they're not tracking it, they're not budgeting properly. There are 3 categories on my budget spreadsheet: income, household expense, and debt payments. Every time you are paid, you should be utilizing this spreadsheet. Not monthly, but every time you're paid. So if you're paid weekly, you're using a spreadsheet to track, because you need to know what's coming in, what's going out, how you're going to be living from day to day, because I do have envelopes attached to this spreadsheet. If you get paid bi-weekly, same thing. Monthly, the same thing. Every time that you are budgeting, you're using a spreadsheet. In this example, you get paid bi-weekly. Let's say that your husband is paid $1,800 coming in for that pay period. Your paycheck is $2,100 for that pay period. You know, I had to have the woman make more money. Yes, honey. And then let's say that the husband, okay, so in this case, let's say the husband has a part-time job or bringing in money, doing something on the side. Let's just give an example. It is $500. I'll give him a little bit more. And the part-time job is the woman. She has a side hustle, a little business or something, or income, whatever, coming in she's bringing in $400. So you have husband $1,800 for his pay, Mrs. $2,100 for hers for that particular pay period, and then for him $500 for some side hustle, and let's say she has a side hustle $400. That's $4,800 for that particular pay period, not the month, the pay period. So that's the income, and it tracks it, and when you total everything, you will see how everything populates, and you will see the total. The next category is a household expense. The household expense is anything that is running your household. So that is your mortgage, your rent, your food, your gas, electric, your water bill, telephone, internet, cable, car insurance, gas, child care, anything that's running your household. In this category, you are plugging it in, and it has a total. But remember, when it comes to your rent and mortgage, you're going to half that. So if your mortgage or your rent is $2,200, and that is high for rent, but that is the reality now, depending on where you are. So if your rent is $2,200 or your mortgage, you're going to put in $1,100. You're putting half of that in, because this is not a monthly budget. This is a bi-weekly budget, a weekly budget. If this was a weekly budget, you will put $550. But this is a bi-weekly budget for the sake of this example. So you will put in $1,100, because again, you're budgeting for the pay period. Now, so you're not confused, you're going to put in half. If it's bi-weekly or weekly, you will divide that amount, the $2,200 divided by 4, you get $550. You will put that in. If it's $2,200 for your rent or mortgage, you divide it by 2. If it's bi-weekly, it's $1,100. When it comes to everything else, your food, gas, electric, water, telephone, all of those other household expense, you're going to plug that in. And there's the reason why. Get it out the way. So you're going to plug that in. So whatever it is for that month, get it out the way. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you do your budget again, you will see you have a little bit more money. And that's how you're going to knock these bills out even faster. So when it comes to your mortgage, rent, half that. Because I don't recommend you just putting on the entire, because you still want to be able to not only live, but you want to be able to pay your debt. And that's the whole point of this spreadsheet, is to track and pay your debt. So the household expense totals $2,000. You will see the total at the bottom, $2,000 for your household expense. So your income was coming in as $4,800, and your household expense total $2,000 for that pay period. Now you have and I'll separate this. So you have your car payments and you have your credit card. So your debt, right? Separate from your household. I wanted to separate it. So now you have your other debt. And the reason why I separated this, because everybody don't have a car payment. Majority of people do, but I don't have a car payment. And I teach people to not have a car payment. So I wanted to separate it. I separate everything. Everything is in categories, even when it comes down to my bank accounts, because you want to be able to see it. For this particular case, there is one car payment. And that's not always, true, but for here, it's one car payment. If it's 2 car payments in this spreadsheet, you can type, there's one car payment in here, and then there is 4 credit cards, and you're plugging in the minimum amount. And the reason why you're plugging in the minimum amount is because when I walk you through, you will take all that money and you will put it on the lowest card. For your debt payments, it comes to $486. All right, so let's do this again. Your income is $4,800 coming in. Your household expense is $2,000, and then your debt payments is $486, which is a total of your total spending comes to $2,486. Because if you add the household expense, that's $2,000, and if you add the debt payments, that's $486. Your total spending for your household expense and debt payments total $2,486. Okay? Now, your final balance, and what I did was I subtracted the $4,800 and I subtracted that from the $2,486. So your final balance that you have left to now go and start plugging in these envelopes is $2,314. Okay? Again, $2,314. You will see in the spreadsheet that $2,314 moved right over to the envelope. That's what I teach you, to either stuff cash envelopes or to categorize your bank account to match. In my case, I had both. So I have stuffed envelopes that you actually go to the bank, you see the cash. The balance is forward is $2,314. So I bet you're thinking, oh wow, I have some money. No, you don't. Pause for a second. Now with the envelopes, now you can see how much money you have left over. We're going to fill these envelopes. So let's just say you have an allowance for that pay period and your husband have an allowance, or vice versa. That's how we survived. That's what we did. We would have an allowance to get out of debt. Once we was out of debt, it was a different story. So let's just say that Mrs. allowance is 100, Mr. allowance is 100 for that pay period. And when I say your allowance, I mean that it is what you are using for you, what you want to use, as if it's lunch or whatever it is. Now, when you're trying to get out of debt, you should be packing lunch. But let's just say, and a lot of people nowadays, because when I made this was before the pandemic, so a lot of people are home. $100 could definitely be suffice and not feel like a stretch like it did before the pandemic. Let's say your groceries is $150 for that pay period. You have a vacation fund, I always recommend. So in this case, there's vacation. Vacation is $100. Now, that vacation can be put up in cash, or what I suggest is in a bank account. And that bank account will say vacation, and it will be attached. The debit card will be attached to your vacation account. It's just the holdings, it's a savings. You're plugging in, for this case, is vacation. You have a category for a car, which is gas, and you also have a category for car. The reason why I categorize car is because for those of you that have car payments, and I talk about this all the time, that if you really want to truly get out of debt quickly, you don't have a car payment, but you want to also be able to save for a car. I save $65 bi-weekly for a year and a half, and I was able to buy my vintage dream car, which is a Lexus 400. It was $3,300, but it was my car, something that I love. So you can put in this category $80, $90, whatever it is, $100, and say, okay, I'm going to buy a car cash in a year and a half, and you add that up, the car is going to be $5,000-$6,000. Whatever it is that you can put in, I put in as least as possible because I was trying to get out of debt. You have a car category, a category for your gas, date night. I have $100 in date night. You have takeout, birthdays, special occasions, kids spending, miscellaneous. Now, this is all your envelopes. Now, remember, because you can't see it, I can see it. I'm going to do this. You'll see this on YouTube. Remember, your forwarding balance is $2,314, right? You see that. This is your envelope. So all of these categories I'm talking about is coming out of that balance. Once you plug in everything in those categories, your allowance, your husband allowance, or your wife allowance, or your significant other, your partner, your vacation, car, gas, date night, takeout, birthday, kids spending, miscellaneous, the total in this case is $860. When you subtract the $2,314 from the total that you just plugged in your envelopes or in your bank account, it comes to $860. What's left over, your remaining cash that's left over, is $1,454. And that's a lot, right? But y'all wouldn't be able to see it if you wasn't plugging it in. If this is a lot, you want your plugins for your envelopes to be realistic, right? You want anything, if it's birthdays, special occasions, weddings, whatever. My category for this example is $50, but if you want it to be $100, whatever it is, so you are not digging in to that money, because what you're going to do with the remaining cash that's left over, which is $1,454, you're going to put that on remember what we were just talking about? You're going to put that on your credit card or your car note. It depends. The credit card is the smallest balance. So if you have a credit card and the balance it may be $35 or $45 minimum you pay monthly, but let's say your balance is $2,800, and then you have another credit card and your balance is $2,900. You're going to put it on the lease, the $2,800. Now, if you have a car payment, you're like, you know what? I want to knock this car payment out. I suggest, and this is my suggestion, and this is how I did it. I knocked my car payments out the roof first because they are more money you're paying monthly. You would take what's left over, the $1,454, and you will take that and pay it and put it on top of your car payment. And in this example, this car payment is $346. And so now you're knocking out that interest on that car. Right? I told you I got you. So let's just recap real quick before we move on. Income is everything that's coming in. Your income is $4,800. Your household expense is mortgage, food, water bill, telephone. That is $2,000. Your debt payments is your credit cards and your car payments. That comes to $486. The total of your household expense and your debt payments is $486. Your cash envelope. Now you have your cash envelope, and that is, now the final balance is $2,314. That $2,314 is what's left over from what's coming in. Again, your $4,800, and you subtract that from the total spending, the $2,486. Now, when you move that over, and $2,314 is now you're plugging in those envelopes and those categories I just talked about. What's left over after those categories is $1,454. You're going to take that, put that on either your lowest balance of your credit card, or what I suggest, your car note. If you don't have a car note, it would definitely be on your lowest balance of your credit card because you're trying to get out of debt. This is this whole point. There's another category that I have in this special circumstance. The reason why I have another budgeting category is because I wanted to separate those of you that get child support, those of you that get Social Security benefits, those of you that get survival benefits, because this was me. So this entire spreadsheet is my blueprint because some people do get these things that come in. It's separate. From my learning experience, you know, when I was getting survival benefits, I needed that money. And you need this money. You need this child support. These are the things that you need. But at the same time, I want you to be able to save. So what I did was I attached the savings to this special circumstance category because at the time when my daughter was going to college, her father had died when she was 6, and I was getting survival benefits. But for years, I didn't put money up for her in her 529 plan because I didn't know no better. When she was in 6th grade is when I was like, oh shoot, college is coming. And that's when I started putting money up. $400 a month. It wasn't a lot, but it was a split between her and her brother. And I was putting up half. And then when she got more closer to in high school, maybe 10th grade, I started putting the entire amount in there because I started building my businesses and things of that sort. So the income changed. In this special circumstance category is where you're plugging in your child support. Let's just say your child support is $300. Listen, mine was less. Mine was less, but plug in your child support. Let's say your child support $300, your Social Security, you're getting $1,200. Let's say that. Some people get disability, Social Security. This is other income that you will bring over here. Survival benefits, let's say, is $500. That total income is $2,000. With that $2,000, I have a savings attached to it. With that, that's where you want to save, right? It's separate because on the other side of the spreadsheet, you're getting out of debt. What I teach is live, save, and invest, right? You want to live, you want to save, you want to invest. That's what you want to do. I teach to budget, save, live, and invest. At the same time that you're budgeting, you're saving, and you're living, you're investing, you're doing everything that you need to do. Okay. In this category, the savings is attached to the special circumstances. So I just said child support, Social Security, survival benefits is $2,000. You want to bring that over. You bring that balance over as $2,000. For the college plan, let's say, okay, it's $2,000. I'm going to save, in this example, it's $800 a month. We are expediting this. $800 a month. Now, you have, what I also did was some people have to, this is their income. You know, or some people need help with their rent or their mortgage. I just gave an example of like rent, mortgage, something miscellaneous. I plugged in $1,000, just something you may need help with your rent. And so the total is $1,800. That remaining balance is $200. With that remaining balance, you can go ahead and bring that over to the other side of the other spreadsheet and add that to your next payment. You have options to what you want to do with that. But you want to use that $200 for something that you will be able to see that is useful for. So I left that so you can be able to make a decision, whatever it is. Let's say circumstance total income was $2,000 and you said, okay, I'm going to pay $500 to my child or my children college savings plan. They get $250 a piece, and then $500 from my rent or whatever. This is so you can see that you're saving in that as well. I don't want you to have a mindset that everything is about spending. Whatever the remaining balance is, you can put that on the next credit card, or you can add that to that car payment over there on the other spreadsheet. And the reason why I said the other spreadsheet, because I'm looking at my spreadsheet and I have they're two separate screens. At the bottom you have to click and then you go to the next spreadsheet. I hope that I was able to really walk you through so you can really understand the difference with the spreadsheet and how to budget. I am going to show you this. I suggest you go to Stenell, the Money Therapist, on YouTube, where you can actually see me and the spreadsheet, and I am teaching you the categories and you can see it for yourself, because budgeting is important. Getting out of debt is important as well. You want to be able to see your money so that way you can know how to move your money. You have to see it to move it. If you don't see it, you can't move it. And I guarantee you, you will be in the same position for the rest of your life if you are not budgeting and tracking your money. I will see you on my YouTube channel teaching you this. No more excuses. Wake up. Thank you for listening to No More Excuses. Wake up. If you love the show, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or Spotify. To learn more about me and my different agencies and what I do, go to StenellMyersEnterprises.com. While you're there, check out Money Therapy Institute and watch my video where you will see me doing a little acting, showing you how I fought and kicked down closed doors. You can also click on Stenell the Money Therapist and get my free budget spreadsheet. And of course, you can email me at contact@StenellTheMoneyTherapist.com. I'm also on social media on Facebook at Stenell the Money Therapist and Instagram at Stenell the Money Therapist. No more excuses. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Wake up. Hey smart people, I have a 3-month one-on-one personal or business coaching program. As you all know, I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year. I will teach you how I stayed out of debt using my burner method and personalized spreadsheet I created to fit my lifestyle and keep me on track. You will learn how to understand your money communication style using my financial treatment plan. Also, if you own a small business and you feel stuck with cash flow or feel disorganized, I teach business owners and self-employed entrepreneurs such as yourself to financially maximize your money, build wealth using your business income, and retire working on the business while your business continues to run, such as myself. You can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes.